where are you really from? Well, I've just told you, pal, I'm from Dublin. But then you have to go into your history. Well, so my nanny's Irish and my dad's Jamaican. I've told you I'm Irish, that's enough, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And fun, like, as well, like, that kind of used to depend on my mood, how I would react to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes that get me back up straight away, and sometimes I'd be like, oh, well, this is kind of my history, and be excited to tell it. But, you know, like, it's just little things like that, you know. But like, we have got better. Like, I'm so aware that we have, but we can all be that little bit better. And I know, I just want to mention there's a page on Instagram called Black and Irish. I think you've probably seen it yourself, but they are doing absolutely phenomenal work for the Black and brown community here in Ireland. Even to me, like, growing up, I felt different and sometimes felt alone. Now, not with friends or anything, you know, but just sometimes I would be the only person of colour in a room with big afro hair down to my bum. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't actually know there was that many of us, and every day they're popping up stories of people around my age, you know, that have gone through the same experiences, or maybe their family. They're just creating a platform, and it's a safe platform for people to share, to white people what it was like.
Understanding this, because I think it's so important that people educate themselves and learn about this, okay? And you know what? I can feel your emotion coming through the conversation. I'm getting a little emotional listening to you. For me, I
Yeah,
think though that there's you touched on it there a second ago. Is like, we're just all people, like, you know, we're all like, we're just people. And I think it's important that when people speak to one another, that it's not a black man, or equally it's not a female leader. They're either men or women or leaders
yeah,
or whatever. So like, that we remove that kind of word before any of the titles, and that we're just people, or we're leaders,
just
or we're
people.
businessmen, or we're business people, or whatever it is. I think it's important, because for me, as a man who's grown up from Limerick and is living in Dublin, and I want to share the story and help educate everybody, I can only support on this issue, but I can definitely help and lead on other issues. So I think it's like, what do you say about how are we going to kind of get people united together to ensure that everybody's story gets heard and that the discrimination is removed?
I think I think we just need to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Openly talking about it. If people have questions, ask the questions. You know, I'm not a massive reader. I don't really like reading. I get really agitated. I've been just sitting there and watching documentaries. Um, in the last while I've watched 13 3 times now. And each time I get a little bit of something more out of it that I didn't really think before. The loving, you know, segregation, how that was, and that kind of. I'm watching these movies as well because I'm writing my family's story, and there was that when my nanny married a black man, you know. So this is educating me too for that. But you know, people are posting stuff on social media, and I think it's very important that it's not just a trend. You know, the way on social media things can be a trend and it lasts for a month and a half. This can't phase. It cannot phase out. You know, we can come together and create and go down in history. Like, this can go down in history, this change. And I feel so bloody passionate about it. I can feel that we are